and welcome back to Rugby Connection. So the Guinness Six Nations is far behind us now, but we have got the TikTok Women's Six Nations, and what a weekend of action it was. Joining us as a special co-host, 20,000 followers on TikTok. She was at the Women's Six Nations launch. It's Rugby with Amy. Amy, thank you so much for coming on. How are you getting on?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, no, really excited. It's very exciting times for Women's Six Nations. So yeah, really, really excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for agreeing to come on in the first place.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
So, TikTok Women's Six Nations. How good does that sound?
It's amazing. Yeah, no, we were really, really excited when they announced, obviously it's a 4-year sponsorship deal, so it's like not just a small thing. This is going to be going on for 4 years, which is really exciting. And yeah, I think everyone's starting to realise the women's side of things is starting to stand alone, and I think there's been a big shift since that's happened, and the amount of people you can reach on TikTok and get engaged within it is just insane. So, and it's good for people like myself who were on TikTok years before, and then, you know, it's benefited all of us now. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I wasn't the biggest watcher of women's rugby, and that's only because how hard it was to actually find it. Like, we spoke with Prop Life last year, and you have to go through so many different categories on the websites and all that to find it. And now it's there, it's right in front of you. And I loved it. I was actually at the Scotland-England game, and what a game it was. The scoreline is very England heavy, but it doesn't tell you the full story.
Yeah.
Scotland played bloody well, and I think a lot of people don't realise England are full of professionals.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Scotland have 5, maybe 6 players in the whole squad.
Yeah.
That are pro, so
I think that's been a big thing, isn't it? Like, obviously England have a bigger budget and things like that, so their players, you know, they can get the best of the best and things like that. So, but like you're saying, I think they put up a really, really good fight with them. And yeah, obviously got to meet Rachel, the captain, as well at the Six Nations launch, and she's lovely and she's really focused. And yeah, so I'm pleased for them. But I think, yeah, England, they did just come out on top, didn't they? But yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Rachel, because I actually didn't get to meet her after the game. Where you stand, you can meet some of the players, and she just walked right past me. So that kind of that's fine though. We met proper foot focused. We met Rona Lloyd, obviously previous guest of the show. That was a good catch up. We met Shauna Brown, who is like a forefront for women's rugby, and almost, I don't want to say the star because it's a documentary, but the main focal point of Amazon video, No Woman, No Try. I've not seen it yet, but I will get around to watching it.
Yeah, it's insane. Shauna Brown, she really gets that message across. And I think the reason that she did that so well was from that post-match interview that she had, and she said that she didn't realise that she was going to get so emotional and say the things she said, but what she said that day about women and women's sport, like, has kind of made history, really. And that's sort of what this No Woman, No Try is sort of being based around. So she's a massive advocate for that, and she's, you know, helping people become better allies for women's sport as well. So yeah, she's great. I think she's a big ally for women's sport, which is brilliant.
Absolutely. I also managed to meet like the greatest of all time for English rugby, in my opinion, Maggie Alfonso.
Oh wow, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But what did you actually think of the game itself?
Yeah, I do think, you know, it is, I think, like, I just love Abby Dow. I think she's so powerful, and I love it, like, to watch her every time she gets the ball. I'm just like, yeah, she's off. Like, she's off. Obviously Marley Packer, like, getting hat trick and things like that, just an absolute machine. And yeah, she really deserved that player of the match and things. So it was insane. It's just great to watch, and it's just exciting. I just love the whole thing. But I think, yeah, Scotland really did push them in defence as well. I think they were coming up strong there as well.
Yeah. Any Scotland players stand out for you?
I mean, for me, I don't like know many by name, so it was really just watching Rachel because I'd met her and I was like, it's great to see her. Like, because I think when you meet someone, that's one thing, and then when you watch them play, it's like you get to see a whole nother side to them. So for me, like that's something that I just love to watch people in action once you've met them and see them carry their team and so passionate about it. And I think she really shows her passion when she plays, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat because obviously we had Rona Lloyd on the show just before Christmas, so I never got to see her properly, like in person play. And then I know the scoreboard doesn't say like she did much, but she was all over the pitch. She was her defensive work rate was fantastic, and it's quite funny because when we were standing at the end, like waiting to meet some of the players, I was obviously like in a daze or daydreaming, and Rona came up to me and was, "Oh, hey, Murray." I was, "Oh, hello, how's you?" But massive congratulations to Scotland number 8, Jade Conkle. She got her 50th cap, and she's just an absolute unit. Like, I don't want to take a hit off Jade. She destructive ball carrier she was.
Yeah.
And the return of Emily Scarrett. Like, she's unreal.
Yeah, she is one of the queens of rugby, isn't she?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's tall as well. I didn't realise how tall she actually was.
Sometimes you meet these people in person and you're like, wow, they're a lot taller than I thought. You want to come up against them in a game. You'd rather have them on your team.
But yeah, at the end of the day, England just too strong. But Scotland put up a hell of a fight going into the remaining fixtures. We move on to the big one for you, Ireland versus Wales.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on that?
I know. I feel like the scoreline was so close. It was very intense. And yeah, they obviously both putting up such a good fight, and you could see the back and forth and the passion there. And again, obviously getting to meet Nicola, captain of Ireland and things, and then being able to see her play, another one who's a lot taller in person. So yeah, it was just amazing to see that. And it's just for me, I just love seeing that, you know, we're back and we've got our own sort of stand to really platform off now. And like you're saying, it's way more accessible now as well. You can access it like on BBC and things like that, whereas before you had to go through loads of links. So I think it's growing the audience a lot. But even just the atmosphere, one of our creators was at the game doing like the TikTok and stuff. So it's good to catch the atmosphere. And I'm going to be going to the one on the 10th in Ireland as well to do all the content for that game. So that'll be amazing to see as well. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's a shame they didn't get the win, but yeah, Wales, they did put up a good fight.
I was close. Ireland's had it in the bag for the most part, and then you know the Wales stand out. Jazz Joyce does what Jazz Joyce does, gets over that line and helps Wales get that fire under their belly, and massive win in Dublin for the girls. Last game was a bit one-sided again, but it was still a bloody good game. France, Italy. Yeah. France in full voice. It's so good to hear, and they're just untouchable.
Yeah, that's it. We know France is just a very good country for rugby in general, and their standards are really high. And yeah, again, it's just great to watch some of their play, and I think they deserve that win. But it's just good to watch, like I say. And obviously I got to meet I can't pronounce her name very well, is it Gillian, the captain of France as well, and she's really good. So yeah, we were going Allez le Bleu, like singing all the songs and stuff. So yeah, and she was well up for a TikTok as well, I'll have you know. she out of everyone, I'd say she was like the most into all the whole TikTok thing. So, and I don't know if you've seen like a lot of if you're following a lot of their accounts or the players and the clubs and things like that, there's a lot of like behind the scenes in camp TikToks coming out and things. So that's been really cool to watch how they sort of interact together as a team as well. And actually Wales, Rachel, Scotland, even Rachel, she was like, this is what the backs get up to whilst we're scrumming in the corner, and they're all just like sitting there in the circle. So yeah, there's a good banter behind it as well.
I think that's true though, because Rona Lloyd's on TikTok. I think she's Rona in Wales. Yeah. And they'll just dance and all that, and I'm like, Do you do training?
Yeah, literally. But now they have an excuse because they're sponsored by TikTok. They're allowed to do them. So yeah,
it's free advertisement, isn't it? So there you go.
Exactly. Yeah, no, just try and engage as many people as possible, and yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to being at the games as well, to be able to see. And I'm going to the England-Ireland game on the 24th as well in Leicester. So I'm really excited about that. And my rugby coach, Sarah McKenna, she's fullback and she's in the squad. So it'd be amazing to be able to watch our coach play. So yeah, it's going to be a hard one to support England or Ireland in that situation. But I'll just be happy with either win.
I've seen your TikTok. I know you're an Ireland fan.
Yeah, so. I know. Yeah, it's a hard one, especially when you've got like friends that are playing for England. So, but yeah, got to support Ireland really.
Yeah, fair enough. I want to get involved. I really want to be involved in the Women's Six Nations. I want to hand out the ball and the medal. And
I know. Sorry, got to be a woman.
No, I'm not there yet. No, but it was good. Like the Scotland England game was actually my first actual attending a women's game, and I loved every minute of it.
Oh, nice.
Maybe not the scoreline, but yeah, it was. Yeah. It was great fun. The sun was beating down on us.
Yeah.
Drinks were flowing as you'd expect, and yeah, it was just so good.
Was that in Edinburgh? Wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was Edinburgh's new stadium. It's at the Dam House, so people call it Mini Field because it's joined to Murrayfield. But
I see. Yeah.
I think that's where the women should play their games going forward, because it's a smaller venue, but you're going to get the crowd in.
Yeah, and the atmosphere and things like that.
I think we actually broke the record for the Scotland women's attendance, and that's only round one. So
yeah, that's amazing. And I think that's with the push of the TikTok side of things, because like you're going to reach so much more people that way. So I think that's really helped push the game out there. And yeah, so it's exciting. I think it's nice to see as well lots of like young girls and young rugby clubs come in to watch like the older women, and they have inspirational people to look up to that aren't, without sounding bad, but like aren't men, and that they can say, well, she's done it and she's a woman, it means I can do it. So having those role models to look up to, and I think that's just amazing to see lots of young girls.
You've been reading my thoughts, because I said this to my fiance when we were like with us talking to some of the girls, like you see younger, like 8-9-year-old girls, and you go to them, who's your favourite player? And they'll say Rachel Malcolm, Ronna Lloyd, Helen Nelson. They won't say Finn Russell, Stuart Hogg, or anything. And that's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's so good. Love that.
What are your predictions for round 2? So the fixtures are Wales versus Scotland.
Wales versus Scotland. I think Wales.
No.
But just from how they've played, yeah. I think Wales probably for that one.
Fair. That's going to be close, and it's in Wales, so
it will be close, that one. Yeah.
We've got Ireland, France.
Ooh, that's a hard one. Ireland, of course, but
I'm back in France just because you didn't back.
I think that's going to be a really tough game, and it's going to be a close one because both really good sides. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one, but I hope Ireland come with a win for that.
We've got plenty to talk about that next week. And lastly, Italy versus England.
Let's go England. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think England might have the Six Nations. It's a bold statement. I think they might take the Six Nations. They did before World Cup, things like that. They have just got a very, very strong side. But I hope that in following years, other sides are going to have the same sort of budget and financial increase and exposure, so that we can start seeing some real competitive, getting England to really work for that position. I think in future years that's going to happen.
I think it was actually Brian Moore that was commentating for Scotland England now. He gave up the men's. He didn't want to do it. So that's the women's massive gain there, because he has so much knowledge on the sport as well.
Yeah.
He's pushing for the SRU to make Scotland a professional setup.
Good.
And there's no reason why they shouldn't.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it can be done. And I think now's the time more than ever. It's just, absolutely growing. And I think a lot of brands and things like that starting to realise like you need to get behind women's rugby, we need to do more for women in sport in general, and I think you can start to see a movement. And personally, like on the TikTok creator side of things, we've been approached by a lot of brands and things that are saying we don't do enough, how can we get more involved and what can we do? So I think there's going to be more, you know, financial benefit from that for the players. So yeah, I think it's only looking up from now.
Well, I hope so, because I was trying to think about it. If you're really struggling for a budget, you could always take it from somewhere else, because it's happened to the women before. You could trust someone else's budget, and as if it was me, if you can't generally get any more money, I would take the money away from the under-20s. It's going to be really horrible when I say it. The under-20s in Scotland are a lost cause. They just are. It's almost become like a running joke that you're like, oh, who's the ones to watch for? Obviously, for the men's setup, none of them. You have to look at England under-20s or the English clubs, or even just the Scottish clubs. Keep an eye on those young lads, and they'll be the ones to break through. It's not going to be the ones in the under-20 setup, because that's a horrible setup.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of talent that has gone unnoticed because of maybe they just haven't been exposed to the right people or know the right people. And sometimes it's a little bit like who you know, but I think talent will just be seen eventually. And, you know, I think England Rugby, their TikTok are very good at exposing like just some grassroots clubs and stuff, because people are sending things in and starting to see players and people starting to stand out just from, you know, these grassroots clubs. So it's really exciting. So yeah, let's see who's the next squad's going to be. Very random. We don't know. Can't predict it. Yeah.
Hopefully it's very soon. But moving on to other headlines in the rugby world, this is a strange one. So it was meant to be Gloucester versus Worcester Warriors in the Premiership on Friday, and about 5 hours before kickoff, Worcester Warriors had to call it off because they had no props.
Oh.
Not great from a professional setup to not have any props. Surely you could just use the academy players, give them a chance. Yeah,
you've got to have. Surely there's people that want that opportunity. Do you know what I mean? That could, rather than actually call it off completely. I'm sure there's people that could, want that opportunity. But that's all around preparation, and that's obviously around management for them, around, you know, making sure that they have, you know, options and a bench that's strong enough to be able to play. That shouldn't be called off. That's a shame that happened. Yeah,
it's so bizarre, because especially nowadays with how big like professional setups and squads are.
Must have been like a last minute thing, or maybe it was a COVID thing. I don't know, but they could have had like some preparations behind that.
I think it was an injury. I think they've been having to sign emergency like loan players. I'm like, just bring up your academy.
Yeah, surely they've got people to bring up.
I'd like to think so anyway, but oh well, it doesn't look great for Worcester Warriors for that situation alone. But yeah, hopefully they get that sorted. Sticking in the Premiership, Leicester Tigers have confirmed their semi-final spot, so they're absolutely fine this season. It's good to see them back where they should be.
Yeah, and that's where we'll be on the 24th, Leicester as well, for the Ireland England game. So
see
the stadium as well, so that'll be good.
Yeah. And last one, big headline for me is it's over to the URC now. My beloved Edinburgh were down at the Sharks in South Africa and became the first Northern Hemisphere side to get a win in South Africa. 21-7 win. Oh, it was brilliant. The rain.
Good score as well.
Yeah, the rain was horrific, but what a win, and definitely puts us higher up the table. Any headlines that caught your eye this weekend, Amy?
Not particularly around that. I mean, I'm so busy that I'm not like a TV watcher, apart from probably the only thing I watch on TV is rugby. So, but yeah, apart from that, I am always busy. But yeah, nothing that I've sort of seen from there. I mean, I speak to people and find out things that way, really. But yeah, nothing that's like stood out particularly this week.
Yeah, I think the big one this week was the TikTok Women's Six Nations up and running, and
yeah,
I don't think we can hype it up enough just how good it actually is and how good it's going to be.
Yeah, I think that's been the main focus at the moment, and obviously being able to be at the launch and things was just incredible, because you started to feel that real buzz around it, and getting to meet sort of all the captains and hear what they are looking forward to, and yeah, it was just good, and to see people like have fun around it as well, so you can actually see people enjoying it, and I think TikTok brings that element of fun to the serious game. So yeah, I think it shows people's personalities, and I think people get invested because they like to feel like they know people and they actually know them and can relate to them. And I think the more you see of someone, the more you can relate to them. And I think that's what TikTok's starting to bring, is that sort of familiarity. God, I can't speak.
Oh, I can't help you.
Making it familiar for people. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing you must get recognised.
Not really, because for me, people say, oh, like you've got a fan base or whatever, but I like to think of it as like a community, and that's kind of how I see I'm just part of the rugby community, but I'm just helping expose that community a little bit more and try and bring more and more people together. But I have people obviously that maybe like at games that will say something, and then they might want to make a TikTok of me, like if they play against me or they play at a game. But I follow most of the people I play against and stuff, so I feel like we already kind of know each other, and I try and engage with people as much as possible, so it doesn't feel like there's any walls or anything. So yeah, I don't like to think like of the whole fan thing. That makes me feel weird, because I don't do it for myself at all. I do it to just raise awareness to the sport and get more people to try rugby and pick up rugby, and for girls to feel inspired by other women. So yeah, it's that really, but I love it, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't do it. I started it 2 years ago in like lockdown. I think a lot of rugby TikTokers did. We kind of all started in lockdown to keep people going, because we couldn't play and we were trying to keep that sort of momentum going. And I think it just had positive effects, because it brought so many people together, and now with the TikTok side of things, it's been perfect for us, because we'd already got a platform before that. So they're actually asking us for advice, like what can we do? How can we reach people? So then we can work together, and it works really well. So yeah, ticked for the Guinness Six Nations. I was the Irish representative for women so I was able to do like campaigns with them for the game around Ireland and stuff. So, and that's kind of transferred over to the Women's Six Nations side of things. So yeah, it's exciting, because for the first time in like 2 years, there's been actually some fruit from it. So yeah, it's really exciting.
I'm in a really weird bit on my TikTok, because like Scottish Rugby follow me and like my videos and comment and all that. I'm like, give me a job, and they don't, and they just don't do it, and I'm like, do something. And I do like match day vlogs if I'm at a game. So I did the Scotland women's game, and the Women's Six Nations page liked it, and I'm like, come on,
I want to be involved.
I'm over here.
You probably heard of Kurt.
Kurt, yes, yeah.
So I met him at the launch as well, and I think he's been really doing the whole Scotland thing for them a lot. So yeah, you should message him, see what happens.
He follows, but he doesn't. We do follow each other.
Yeah, drop him a message.
Kurt, help me out here.
That's it. I do think once you've done one thing, doors open up, and you end up being just the first to be asked for other things as well. And especially if those go well, and they get a good following, or they get lots of views and comments and engagement, they obviously then think, oh well, get them in the next one. And because it's a 4-year deal, it's like, it's not just a one-off video. It's like, this is something that they're going to want to carry on. So yeah, it's really, really good. I think for my Ireland video I did for the Guinness Six Nations, there was just like over 200 comments of just people like engaging in the thing. And I think actually people are starting to look less at likes and stuff and more engagement now, so like comments and what community you can create, because I think anyone can like something, but are they really engaged and, you know, following it?
I think that's my issue at the moment is I'm quite happy with my views and the likes. There's like no comments, like somebody comment, do something, please.
Yeah, I think that's like with the content and stuff, it's maybe putting stuff out there that's maybe open for discussion. Like I try and make things that sometimes are a little bit controversial to create a bit of a spark in the comments. Or like I posted a video of, was it Ireland Scotland men's game? I can't remember who Ireland were playing particularly, but he went to catch a kick and he got like taken out in the air, and I posted that, and that's just like thousands of comments on arguing on whether he was jumping into the tackle or jumping for the kick, and I'm just letting them argue amongst themselves, and I'm like, it's fine, it doesn't bother me. So it's that kind of engagement, or asking people a question, or getting people to duet with you. And so I think around your content is thinking, how can I make this engaging or a discussion? So
my favorite one is I've never been quiet about players like I don't like, especially in the men's. I can't really judge the women's game. I'm quite new to the women's game, so I like everyone. But no, the men's game, like there is players. I was like, I can admit they're a good player. I just don't like them. And a lot of people don't understand that bit, so they're like, how could you not like him? But he's this and he's that. I don't care. I don't like him. It's simple. I don't have to like everyone that touches a rugby ball. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, also, I think people do want like some raw, honest content, because I think there's a lot of stuff out there like, yay, go this, go that. But actually for someone to be like, that's probably not something that I like would like believe in or find like good, that a player's been doing this and doing that and stuff. So yeah, those controversial things I think are good to put out there, actually spark conversation. So yeah, people avoid them. I think they worry about getting trolls and comments and things, but I actually kind of I mean, there's some things that cross the line, and we've had a lot of that in women's rugby, but there's a lot of stuff that I will just encourage people to bring out, because I think, say it, like, and let's discuss it. Like, I'm very forward with people like that. I don't mind it, just good discussion.
There is some trolls that I don't just let it slide. I will just put, no, I'll argue with you. I don't mind. I don't care.
Yeah.
And like some of the guys that we speak to are like, why not just block them? No, because then what does that do?
Yeah, no. I mean, and it all counts. I always think like, you're commenting, you're watching this video, like you're helping boost my videos. So you can troll me all you want, and I'm fine with that. But there are just some that just go over the line. And people, I said this before, like people, there's someone behind that screen, and you know, if you were to meet them in person, I'm sure it'd be a very different conversation that you'd be having. So yeah, it's just let them chat amongst themselves sometimes.
Yeah, this is a bit that makes me laugh, because I'll like the videos I do, some of them are funny, but most of them are, I will back that claim. So like, I would say that in person.
Yeah.
And like you just said, like people would comment something like, yeah, but would you say that to my face? I don't think you would.
No, exactly.
I would say what I've said in the video to someone's face, because I stand by it.
Yeah.
There was one I did ages ago, like when I first started, I didn't know how to make like fancy videos. It was just my face. And I said something and somebody was like, delete this video. I was like, no, it's my opinion and I'm going to back my opinion.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you're wrong. I was like, okay.
That's your opinion.
That's fine. Still not deleting the video. I think it's still up.
I think life would be very boring if we all had the same views, wouldn't it? So like, we need to have different opinions to challenge different things. And like, I'm very open, like I'm happy for someone to change my mind, but like, I'm not one of those people that's like, this is the only way, like I am right. I'm kind of like, this is what I think and this is why I think it, but if you're willing, like if you change my mind or you can prove me wrong, that's great.
Yeah. I'm probably the same. I think you would probably gone quite well then, because I'm on the same boat. There's the one or two that like, I'll put something out and I'm like, right, I'm waiting for this person to bite at it.
Yeah.
And they'll come back and no, this and that. And I'm like, could you not take anything from my opinion? They're like, no, because you're wrong. I'm like, no, you can't say that someone's opinions are wrong. You can disagree with it. You can't say
No,
your opinion's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of got to be like, this is why I don't agree, and have a reason. I think, not just like, I don't agree at all. So
when you get the rant, they're obviously trying to get a rise out of you.
Yeah.
But they'll say something that makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not linked to the video, and I'm just like, what are you on about?
Sometimes I don't comment back because it really doesn't make any sense. I'm just like, I'm going to let you show your own stuff up. Like, everyone could just see that for themselves. I don't need to say anything more.
I think I've got to that nice little part of TikTok where I don't need to argue for myself. I'll say something, somebody will argue with it, and then like 10 others just go, nope. And I'm like,
there we are. Yeah.
I'll just start it and then use kids.
Amongst yourself. Exactly. Yeah. That's
it. But this has been an absolute blast. We've got so much going on in the next coming weeks. Did you say you're at a game next week?
So at the one on the 10th, so I think that's 2 weeks. So that'll be in Cork. So that'll be the Ireland-Italy game. And then I'm also going to be at the Ireland-England game on the 24th of April as well. So I'll be posting lots of content. I get to present Player of the Match Award as well. So I get to, so it's really exciting. And obviously I'll be the TikTok creator. So if you follow Ireland Rugby on TikTok, I'll be on there live as well before the game. So yeah, lots of exciting things coming, and I'm really excited about it. I just ordered myself a nice little green suit, so I'm ready to go.
I like that. Well, you could only get the green suits for St. Patrick's Day, but evidently not. So there you go.
No, you've got the big hats and flowers, haven't you, for that? You've got to, you have
to go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can our listeners find you on social media?
So it's Rugby with Amy on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, that's it. So it's all the same. So it's nice and easy for everyone.
Might need to do that then, because I've got my Instagram and my TikTok are two very different things.
Yeah, no, I made them the same recently, actually, because I had the TikTok going for years, but I only had like a personal Instagram. So I created just the Rugby with Amy Instagram, and obviously I put any of my work with like different brandings and things like that on there, but also I'm a ambassador for Balls for Brains rugby charity, which is a mental health charity. And as part of that, we've been doing like a women's series podcast as well. So I interviewed Naya Tapper last week, interviewing Donna Rose next week. So yeah, loads of really exciting stuff coming from that. So if you want to watch those podcasts, you can go on Balls for Brains, and it's called Pack Mindset. So yeah, we'll be doing like a women's world of all of those as well, so keep an eye out on that. But we've got some charity games that I'm going to be at where people can come and meet me and make TikToks with me and stuff like that. So but I post everything on my Instagram, so as long as you on TikTok or Instagram, you'll find out everything. So yeah.
Well, you kind of gave away our schedule for this week, because we've got an Tapper interview coming out this week as well. So
hey, that's exciting. Yeah, she's so lovely and down to earth, and she really is up for discussing things and getting the message out there. And yeah, just an incredible player, isn't she? She's insane. Yeah, she's amazing. So, and she's got her own merch as well, which I need to go and get myself a Naya Tapper t-shirt.
I'm saying I wanted a hoodie, so I'm like, Naya, send me one. She said, yeah, well, no, actually send me one. Don't just say that you will. I will message you my address. There you go.
I know. I just feel sorry for the USA shipping. I feel like that's just the killer, isn't it? The postage.
That might be nice. I might cover shipping. Or
yeah, it's probably as much as the jumper. Yeah, I posted something to America and it was like £18. I was like, blimey.
Jeez, I got a hoodie from Canada, like an actual Canadian rugby hoodie. And it only cost like £5 delivery, and it came from Toronto. I'm like, how does that work?
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't understand how shipping works. I think it's a con half the time.
Yeah, but I might be doing a giveaway as well for the Ireland England game for some tickets as well, so people can keep an eye out on that. But you've got to enter the giveaway to win, so that's how we do. You've got to build your platform somehow, right?
just send tickets.
Just send them.
Just send the tickets, yeah.
I mean, you can always purchase your own, support women's rugby, just turn up. No, and something about the ticket prices, they've gone up, and I know that's like, oh, they've gone up for everyone, but that shows that that's a great thing for women's rugby.
Yeah.
So I looked up out of curiosity how much England-Ireland men's game was for the Six Nations, and a ticket was £1,299. So that was for one of the tickets. And then I looked up England-Ireland women's game, and they're from £8. And then we brought ours last week for £30 for seating. And we're like, that's great, they've gone up. And then I'm still like, wow, but for one seat in one stadium, that's going to be full. Like, so that shows, but we will get there. Women are kind of making, there's no other option. Like, people are just going to have to get on board, because if they don't, they're going to be behind. So I think people are starting to realise that now. So yeah, there's been a big shift, but there's still a long way to go, and that's some figures to make people realise that.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I was looking at tickets. Obviously, I don't go down to England or that, because money's a big issue. So
yeah.
But I was looking. So for an Edinburgh game, you're £25 student or adult. Obviously, the younger you are, the cheaper it is. That's just how sport works. For a cheap seat at the men's Scotland game, I think you can go to a Scotland game for about £35.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe not in the Six Nations, because that's all advertised. I think the autumn tests, I think you can get in the up in the heavens for about £35, which is fairly reasonable.
Yeah, out of the Six Nations, it can be kind of reasonable. I think I saw England Tonga, and it was like £50 or something. So, and that was right at the top as well. So we were kind of watching half of it on the screen, but I was just happy to see Courtney Laws, Mario Toje, my two favourite players. So
I've seen your videos on Mario Toje.
Yeah, Mario, hit me up.
That's brilliant.
One day he'll reply.
He will. She's on TikTok as well now, so who knows?
I know. I've seen this.
You need Joe Marler to reply. That's my big one.
Yeah,
big Joe Marler fan. So
Ilona Mar commented on that TikTok of Mario Toje, like, this is just so good. So I think she can agree with me on that one. But yeah, she's great. So we've been getting involved with her and doing content with Ilona Mar and stuff, and she's just obviously got a massive presence. She's nearly at 1 million followers, so very exciting for her.
We need to get her on the show.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. She's great. And Rocky Clark is another one you need to get on here.
Rocky Clark.
Yeah, okay. Most capped England player of all time.
Not Jason Leonard. I know this. I've seen the video.
Yeah, exactly. Someone will take over, but for now, 137 caps. So yeah, that's a lot.
That's insane.
Yeah, so she's a real pioneer for women's rugby.
Thinking of all the women we've had on the show. So we've had Gemma. So Prop Life was our first ever guest. Yourself. We've had Naya Tapa, Michaela Blyde, Rona Lloyd. I think that's it. I want to say that's it. I think there's only 5 we've had so far. But just everyone we go for, it's just like they're all like big names within their own way. So like you've got like over 20,000 followers on TikTok. Gemma was well known because we're from TikTok. We're like, well, we'll start from TikTok and work our way into pros.
Yeah.
And like our first women professional is an Olympic gold medalist. World Cup winner, and I'm like, okay, so we're starting work our way down then.
Might as well start big.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've got obviously, so I played union my whole life, rugby union my whole life, but this year I've started playing league, just to trial it out, and just managed to obviously land in the Ireland squad for rugby league. So obviously that's very exciting time. So yeah, we've got our camp coming up. But obviously it runs at a different time to union, so it means I can kind of do a bit of both, but my focus now is league for obviously summer and things, and I play for Bedford Tigers as well. And yeah, we're starting to produce a few internationals within Bedford Tigers, so it's really
Nice.
exciting. So yeah, that's sort of my goal and focus at the moment is that. So, but I know there's some discussions people have around rugby union and rugby league. I'm like, well, you could do both. So
I'm a really weird bit of, do you like union or I prefer union.
Yeah.
But I love the NRL and league. I don't like Super League.
No, yeah.
But I'm very but no.
Yeah.
And then
I think the different thing is obviously you can't just kick. It has to be on like your fifth phase, and like obviously you got to get back after every tackle, and you can't compete out of ruck and things. So there's a lot of differences, but also a lot of more like you can have upright tackles and stuff. So it's quite yeah. So I don't know what's going to be more tough really. So it'll be interesting to try them both out, and then I'll be able to give an honest opinion of both then.
Yeah, well, we'll have you back on, and you could definitely tell
you the differences and what.
Yeah. As for your Bedford Tiger or even Ireland League, I collect jerseys, so hit me up.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
But honestly, it's been an absolute blast. Thank you for agreeing to come on and talk all things rugby with us. We are back next week. If you've been a follower of us since the beginning, we go full circle next week. That's all I'm saying. I'm not giving it anyway. I'll tell Amy when we stop recording who it is. But this week we have the Naya Tapper interview coming up as well. Be sure to like that, share it, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think you follow on Spotify. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Just follow us, share it, get the word out. Rugby Connection. But we will see you next time.